Property tax assessments are up an average of nearly 15% in Minnehaha County this year. That's after seeing a nearly 19% average increase last year.
And while it's a direct impact on every homeowner in the county, as we explain in tonight's Your Money Matters, the increased property assessments will also end up impacting renters.
Property taxes are one of the largest one-line expense items that an investor or a property owner will have on a property.
Bender Commercial is hearing from plenty of their investor clients about their assessed values seeing some major increases this year.
I think the worst case I've heard so far is there's a 60-unit apartment building that a colleague owns, and it's up 71%.
While it doesn't necessarily mean taxes on the property will go up quite as steep, a bigger tax bill is coming.
It's roughly 2% of the assessed value for a commercial property is going to be your tax bill. If you're seeing, let's say, a $1 million increase in the property's evaluation, that's like $20,000. That's challenging for a property owner to budget because that's a $20,000 bill that they weren't previously expecting.
For owner-occupied commercial properties, that surprise bill will cut into their profits. But for investment properties like apartment buildings,
the renters are paying for everything. I'm not paying for anything.
Rod Schmidt has been a landlord in Sioux Falls for 25 years. He says last year his property taxes on this apartment building were about 13% of the total expenses needed to operate during this season of inflation.
Everything was up 19, 20%. I passed it on. Carpenters now are getting $60 an hour. Plumbers are $100 an hour.
Operating expenses and the value of his properties were up so much, Schmidt decided to get out of the business.
Everything is getting so expensive. I mean, and us old guys just can't do it anymore.
He sold 3 of his 4 vintage properties at much higher than their assessed values over the past 18 months. A difference he says renters will also end up paying for.
You sell a building like this one, of course the rents are going to go up.
The Minnehaha County Director of Equalization says it's important to note that property assessments are not a tax bill. Whether you're a commercial or a private property owner, you won't know the real impact of the increased values until you get your tax bill. You can find more of our recent stories on property assessment increases in the county with this story on KELOLAND.com.
An overextension on Treasury